If you've never bothered to take a look at Volvo, perhaps you should. Talk about changing the market. Talk about going from one era to the next. Now is a great time to come to Volvo, and here's exactly why. Primarily all of the vehicles they offer now are award-winning. Everything from the smallest XC40, which I know you've heard of, to the largest XC90, which is the most popular vehicle possibly Volvo has ever produced. Now is the time to come to Volvo. So this is the Volvo XC90. Volvo XC90, if you haven't heard, it's the most awarded vehicle since 2001. Of course, Auto Trader calls it the most awarded vehicle, definitely of this decade. They call it the automobile of the decade. Very awarded in the sense that the 90 series, especially the XC90 you see here, comes standard with a number of different features. So in other words, if I was to ask you what must you have on your next vehicle, well, guess what? It's on the XC90. The only two options you can actually option to get would be the advanced package, and that's just giving you heads-up display 360 camera. So everything you can see tattooed on the vehicle is standard equipment. Now, most awarded vehicle, safety. There's never been a fatality in a Volvo XC90. Ever since its first day or it came into existence. On top of that, this is the one that gives you 3 rows of seating, which you can see there. 1, 2, and going into the back here, this one's just folded down to give you maximum ideal on space. Of course, once you lift that up, you can pop the headrest up. That's your 3rd row. Now, a good thing with Volvo, all Volvos, Volvo has worked with orthopedics on the seat in every particular model. So you roughly should never hear of anyone in a Volvo to say that the seats are uncomfortable as of 2010 and newer. Now, to walk over, this is what is deemed as the Momentum, but if you wanted something a little bit more dressed, you can actually go from the Momentum to the Volvo inscription, which adds cosmetics onto it. You can see the all chromed out grille, larger wheelbase, additional chrome along the front. And when you roll to the inside, now you pick up the unfinished wood, leather trimming along the dash, Nappa leather, perforated seats, cool seats, and you can see the additional seat movement you get here. Now remember, as I said before, the only additional option you can add on the Volvo XC90 is just the advanced package, and the luxury seating package is another option you can add. So you can make those seats fully massage with different settings you can do. You can do between the shoulders, lower back, upper back, and of course along the neck area. So it's very nice for that. The most awarded vehicle since 2001, and as Auto Trader calls it again, the automobile of the decade. And standing in the distance of the XC90, you have the XC60. The XC60 just happens to be a smaller model XC90, but it offers all the same amenities you could get with an XC90. Whereas in XC90, it comes, basically everything comes standard except for heads-up display, 360 camera. On the XC60, it offers you more packages, understanding the fact that you're not exactly looking at spending 50 to 60 to 70,000. You can package it the way you want it and get the true XC60 that fits you. Talk about carrying the mantle. This particular vehicle has been the best-selling Volvo for quite a while now. Of course, it's the mid-size SUV, which is the Volvo XC60. It offers you a number of different versions, a sporty version, a luxury version, and then you have your more modest XC60 Momentum. Now, of course, this happens to be an inscription model, so you do have the chrome grille with a little bit more chrome trimming around the bottom there. You can also see the larger chrome disc alloy wheels, or chrome wheels, additional chroming along the side. And when you move to the interior, keep in mind, this is our mid-size SUV. You can see it's decorated quite nicely with the leather dash, wood trim. Most Volvos you see will be leather. Of course, they have actually have vehicles now that represent the petter, or those that may be pro animal life. So they do offer more of a cloth material, especially in the XC40. You can get it in the XC60, but very rarely will see that. Now when you come, signature Volvo, you have the built-in child seats. You can see how it's up and over the normal seating, just like a normal child seat, but it's built as a part of the vehicle. Kind of gives you an idea on the spacing as well. We do have a guy here that's about 6'7". So within saying that, we tend to keep our seats back a little bit further than normal. All your hatches primarily will be power. All vehicles will come with a premium package, which will give you the blind spot assist. You do have the kick response for the rear door. And keep in mind, this is the mid-size SUV from Volvo. Number of the same benefits as the XC90, just on a smaller scale. And just in case you were wondering what it looks like in black, let's turn our attention to the far side here. So this is going to be a black model with the amber interior. Different style alloy wheel. So this would be a Momentum. You can see where it loses the side trim. Amber interior, which is also an interior color offered by Volvo as well. So that is a quick look at the Volvo XC60. Best seller for Volvo. XC90 happens to be the most popular. XC40, some would say, is the most current and millennialistic, I would like to call it. But let's turn our attentions to the XC40. The smallest SUV on the line. This is the trendy XC40, which one could say that they're geared more toward millennials. With the XC40, the highest safety score ever scored in Europe. Exterior design, two-tone appearance with the black top. This is an R design. And of course with the XC40 as well, there's no space wasted. So when you go inside, you have pockets which are going to be large enough to take into account iPads, laptops. You have built-in trash can, which is in the center, and removable. Charging pad as well. Of course, with the XC40, they like to say no space wasted. Even when you roll out of that, the smallest sedan of them all, which is the S60. Oh, and by the way, this little fellow was also named European SUV of the Year. So this is a vehicle that's nicely positioned, not as big as the 5 Series from BMW, not as big as the 7 Series. Not as big as the S-Class from Mercedes, but at the same time, not as small as the E-Class. This is a head turner, and it is turning a lot of heads. Of course, it's an SUV boom right now, so it doesn't get quite as much attention as it would if it was not, and gas prices were higher. This is an R-Design version of the S90. Now, this particular vehicle houses the strongest steel cage ever known to the automobile industry. Don't worry, not all of your side mirrors are black, and not all of your interiors will come with the tubing, or piping, some like to call it, and a stitching. That is a sport bucket seat. There again, this is an R-Design model. So you can see the leather stitched dash, no wood grain. More of a carbon fiber look. You also have the metallic gas paddles. And a lot of the amenities of the XC90. Just in a sedan model. So definitely worth taking a look. The great thing about the S90, tons of legroom. And you look at a vehicle that starts off at 50 grand, fully loaded, you can actually touch 70. Smallest sedan, the S60. Nothing but a miniature S90 V60 Birch Light, which is a brand new color in the Volvo lineup for 2019. This is the V60. This is nothing but a smaller V90, which I actually showed you earlier. So if you've never thought about coming to Volvo, perhaps you should. An award-winning lineup, each of its SUVs have made a prominent statement on the automobile industry. I close with this one because this is indeed the best seller. This is the number that Volvo concentrates on, selling more of these than anything else in the Volvo lineup. And then, of course, the most popular of them all, which is the XC90. Quickly as possible, get to your Volvo dealership nearest you to take a look at a Volvo that should suit you perfectly well.